We're here with Ikeogu. Okay.
Yes.
You're welcome.
How
do we pronounce your name?
Ikeogu.
Okay. Ikeogu. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What does it mean?
Ikeogu means mighty in battle. Okay means masculine.
Okay. Does that explain the outfit you have on here today?
Well, the outfit is from it's from where I was born. It's the costume of the Ohafia World Dance performers, the emblematic cultural performance of the Ohafia people to which I belong.
So, how long have you been writing poetry?
Well, I would say a little over 30 years. I actually had my first published poem written in 1987. I was a teenager and I just left secondary school a few years back. Then stumbled on poetry, found the experience, ecstatic and irresistible. So I made a conscious effort to become a poet. And I think I was fortunate because I had this shot in the arm by way of my earliest poems having been published internationally, and for which I was offered some payment, $19 in 1987.
That's a lot of money.
So to publish my first poem in an American magazine that's published in about 6 different international languages. So that became something like an inspiration and a stimulus to keep writing. So, well, since then I have just been at it. I've never taken my heart or my mind or my soul off poetry.
So poetry has always been the choice, or do you write in any other? I mean, have you ever preferred any other means of medium of expression?
Well, basically, I'm somebody who likes to express himself in words, written words, and also spoken. But I think poetry seems to come more naturally to me. I've written some work in prose, write essays. I'm a regular commentator in the Nigerian media and beyond. But poetry, I think it's what I would call my native genre. It is where I feel most at home in.
Yeah. I also was informed that you also write in Igbo. Is that true?
Yes, I do.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, there's a day that I spent some time with some friends, and I've always loved language. I wish I could actually write and speak in more languages, but I just like most things I have done, I just be self-motivated, including poetry that I write. I just someday got up and said, okay, I have started writing poems in Igbo. Of course, it's my language, so it's my native tongue, if you like. And I just started doing it, and it just fell into place. So I've written poems, translated into English, and then also created music scores out of Igbo poems and songs out of my Igbo poems.
So how do you compare the response of the audience to your work in English and your work in Igbo?
Well, everywhere I've read my poems, I'm going to do here. It's often a gratifying experience where people respond. The fact is that being a poet or writing poetry, it's partly a mental process. What you simply do is to condition yourself to utilize language in a certain way, apprehend reality in a certain way, and utilize it in a certain way. These are skills that are transferable from one language to the other, one worldview to the other. So if I was literate in Spanish, for instance, or Portuguese, I could write poems in Portuguese the same way I write them in Igbo or English. What really matters isn't the language, but language matters, but it is the experience of being able to think in images.
I want to ask about the book that got you on this shortlist. It's called The Heresy.
Absolutely.
You said it came from your creative, remix, so to speak, of heresy.
Yeah.
Because it's about somebody who wrote a book and then was condemned to death.
Yeah, correct.
What inspired that theme?
Well, I just moved to Calabar in 1988. Something had happened the previous year, in which a writer was, condemned to death, and which really got me thinking. I mean, I won't say anything in a book that would warrant a person being condemned. But I realized it's something that's been happening. I mean, William Tyndale had been burnt on a stake for something he did with the Bible, and people had been persecuted for writing books. But when I got to read this book, I just thought, well, maybe there are things I would have said if I was the author of the book, because whereas I believe in freedom of expression, I think it's better to be sized with utmost responsibility. You can't just say things because you think they are right to say without bothering about how it will impact on people. So I was thinking about a way of mediating between the intellect and faith. And this writer has been accused of heresy. So that's how the word heresy had came about. And thought, well, perhaps it would be a good thing to join issues with this whole experience and find a way to see whether we can create a more peaceful world in which, the intellect and religion, as symbol of the characters in the book, could work together for a more peaceful, a more successful world.
I think it's an interesting theme to address. I found reading it that it brings up a number of issues, and you reference a number of cultures and traditions from different places. But 1989, that's 29 or so years ago. 27 years ago.
Yes.
So what was the process like? Did you started writing the book then?
Lying on the floor, and then these lines just hit me, And I could remember the lines actually, and part of what I'm going to read today. And before I knew it, actually had written in a frenzy a set of couplets, I looked at them and it's like, did I do this? And I found that I had been bound to a form already. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it again and said, no, this is actually a jam for a long poem. Mm-hmm. I went to university after completing the first draft, University of Calabar. So now, in 4 years, I had done the first draft, So what happened was after that first encounter with what I would call Afflatus inspiration, what turns out to be the last lines, though I've modified it over time, the envoy, as it's called in that kind of poetry, also came to me a few days later. So I had what would be the beginning and what would be the end. Mm-hmm. So it now was a challenge to fill the space in between the words, So, but I think from the outset I knew what I wanted to say. I had no doubt as to what the poem would look like. It is now the labor of composition that I had to face. So I just started doing that. The lines would come to me and I would write them down. And I just kept.
There's something I wanted to get to before we run out of time. It's about the form. The form is very challenging. Couplets, it seems easy when it's just 2 lines. You have to rhyme them. And then you have to write thousands and hundreds of lines, with each 2 lines having a rhyme. How challenging was that for you?
I rhyme effortlessly, even today. I mean, I produce a rhyme on my Facebook page almost every day.
Okay.
So
it's something you like?
Second nature. Well, I like it, but it isn't about liking it. It's about whether I can do it without hindering my ability to convey my message.
Yeah.
This is more to read than the rhyme. I'm not going to rhyme at the expense of meaning, certainly. Okay. But you see, I think I was fortunate with this poem in the sense that things fell into place almost miraculously for me. Mm-hmm. Maybe I was lucky. Maybe the gods wanted it that way, as it were. But I just found myself rhyming. I mean, the rhyme just could tumble out of me. Even for the asking.
So there's a musical arrangement at the back of the book, which I found very interesting and very fascinating. It's something you typically find in drama, and of course the work is a combination of drama and poetry.
Poetry, yes.
So 2 questions in one. First, have you thought of having it performed?